Hi, welcome to week 2 of Philosophy 119. There are two assignments due this week. One is your first blog entry, which we'll do on the discussion boards on Angel. And the second is you need to choose and sign up for a response paper. The blog is an informal type of writing, less formal than a real paper. And it's an opportunity for you to read the material and to mull it over and to come up with a thesis, something to say about it, make an argument, and send that to me. And I'll give you some feedback and let you know how you're doing, offer suggestions for improvement, and so on. The response paper is a more formal assignment. It is a formal analysis of one of the readings that we'll be doing in the semester. You only have to do one. There's a survey in the lesson where you choose your top 3 favorite topics. You might not like any of them, but of the ones that are there, choose your top 3, and I'll do my best to get you your first or second choice. You want to consider 2 things in choosing your response paper topic. First, what text would you like to analyze and read and discuss? What do you think you would be interested in enough to offer a sustained kind of critique or whatever? The second is when they're due. Since you only have to do one response paper, and these are based upon different texts we'll be reading through the semester, the response papers are due at different times. So for example, Iphigenia et Aulis is a reading that we'll be doing at the very end of the semester, so that response paper is not due for quite some time. Whereas we're reading Kant next week, and so the Kant response paper is due quite soon. So you might want to keep that in mind as well. I want to clarify something that came up in William Behan's video from this week, where he talks about ethics and the different kinds of ethics. He talks about 2 kinds of ethics: consequentialist, which focuses on the consequences, and non-consequentialist or deontological ethics. Well, that's okay. But there are actually 3 kinds of ethics that we need to worry about, and the third kind, which he doesn't even mention, is the one that we're looking at this week, namely Aristotle. So, in order to keep it straight in your mind, there's consequentialist ethics, which focuses on the consequences of an action, what happens. Whether an action is right or wrong depends upon the results. Nobody gets hurt, no problem. The utilitarianism of John Stuart Mill is a good example of consequentialist ethics. There's deontological ethics, which focuses upon the rightness or wrongness of the action itself. No matter the result, you can tell whether an action is right or wrong. And we'll see an example of that in Kant. Kant is the most famous and the most important deontological ethicist thinker. But the third kind of ethics, which William Behan doesn't mention, is called virtue ethics. And it focuses on the character of the agent, or the person doing the action. Aristotle is a good example of a virtue ethicist, the prime example of a virtue ethicist. So it focuses more on the person doing the action rather than on the action itself or the consequences. Anyway, I hope that clears things up a little bit and lets you know sort of what's going on with this first reading, which we're doing with Aristotle. Thanks a lot. Have a great week. We'll be in touch.